me stuff about Craig, and she's like, I need a legal doc. One day I had just gotten my license and I was driving like out of my track, and I saw him and stopped to like talk to him, and he asked me for a ride, and I was like, kind of like, okay, fine. So he like hopped in, and he like smelled like beer or like vodka, so like I don't know if this is like totally true, but like we were driving through like the Peterson track, and he like looked over and he's like, stop, and so I like braked. And he's like, that's my house right there. He's like, I was born and raised in that house, like over in the Peterson track.
Well, Craig's, everybody kind of knows Craig in the neighborhood, and he's always around, and we know who he is, and he's part of kind of the Edison family and the lure of the school.
That guy was the starting quarterback on the football team in high school, you know, and very popular, and it's sad, yeah, I've given him, some clothes and some food. I tell people not to give him money because that just goes to booze.
Yeah.
Don't give him money, give him clothes, give him food.
In a lot of ways, I think that he's choosing to do what he wants to do.
He's like set in his ways, like he's not thinking about like changing at all, I don't think. Like he's an alcoholic. Hey Craig. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Good. You ready to do that interview? Or do you want us to come back later or something, or what's going on?
Yeah. I kind of need a little nap.
Okay.
What, are you ready right now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I started high school the first year Edison opened up, 1969.
Edison at one time this in Fountain Valley was these were the biggest schools on the West Coast. And at that time, I think it was 5,000 students.
Yeah, he was very popular. He was one of the best athletes in his class. I actually was a neighbor of his, so I kind of knew him. I was always a year behind him.
He's like when he gets drunk, he's always like telling me like, oh, I used to be the MVP quarterback, and so I'm kind of like this kid, like I'm not like totally believing everything he says.
If you were a football star at that time, it was a big deal in around here, and everybody would have known your name. It was more of a small town kind of feel back then.
I went on to be a pretty good athlete. I was MVP quarterback in '73.
He was a little wild. He was partier back then, and but he was a very good athlete, very intense.
He would have been on top of the world in this little neighborhood.
He started the fast life at 15, 16 years old, and never really couldn't stop it.
I had a lot of good experiences, had a lot of nice girls. I was doing good and everything, and then there's things that happened that brought me down in life,
Yeah.
You
Are you willing to tell us about those, or?
Yeah, alcohol,
Yeah.
drugs.
It's interesting to think, how does someone get into that position? I'm not one to judge, but I know that the people make decisions to get into certain positions.
I try to tell all our athletes that you can get away with things for a while. You can get away with lying and stealing and cheating and drinking, and you can get away with all that for a while. But sometime, some sooner or later, some people get caught the first time they steal or cheat or lie. But sometimes people get away with it for years and years and years, and the fast life, the wrong decisions are going to catch up to you sooner or later. So. Unfortunately, he's a really kind of a great example.
There's two different kinds of kids, and usually it comes around 10th grade, 11th grade year, where the kid will become basically the character he's going to be for the rest of their life. And if you don't learn from your mistakes, you don't learn to learn from your mistakes, you're banging your head against the wall, and you end up in a situation like that. It's unfortunate.
Cans, and he's like eating kids like lunches that they like thrown away, like a dirty like yogurt and like a graham cracker, like that's like pretty sad to see that. That's like a low point, you know. And so that's like obviously like a lesson to be learned.
You know, it's all about making choices.
Yeah.
It's making about good choices all the time. I mean, you know, I always tell them if you have to think about it, it's probably the wrong choice. I mean, if you know it's maybe not the right thing to do, don't do it.
I love kids, man. I love helping kids. And I want to see kids do what I did not to do. Drinking problem, well, at the time it wasn't a problem. Once you become addicted, you know what? You're addicted, and you're gonna do it until something hits you in the side of the head and says, you gotta stop. It's gonna take them a few years after high school to actually realize how much it's hurting you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like me, man. I just got out of the hospital, and look at, I still got my hospital band on, and I've got cancer. You know, I'm sleeping under a bush right now. I don't want to see any of you kids sleeping under a bush like I am right now. Okay, and kids, listen, it's not worth it.
He knows that like drinking's like bad for him, but he's an alcoholic, and that's like the way he lives. Like he's just kind of taking it day by day.
It wasn't all lost, you know, because I had units from Orange Coast, and then I went back to Golden West and got my AA, and just like I feel like I had things secured, and I didn't really. I didn't really. It was just, you know. But I had a good job. Like I said, I got my girlfriend pregnant, and that kind of, I just want to take, you know, I love women, and when that happened, I quit playing football at Orange Coast, and I just wanted to take care of her, so I went to work. The first girl, Kathy Nealon, she was my sweetheart for like almost 15 years, and I just love that girl. But I just let other things take over, and she couldn't deal with it.
So he's definitely like a person, and like he's like never like begging for money, you know, like if I have change in my pocket, like I'll give it to him. Like I've given him like sandwiches and stuff, but
the main thing I hope for is that he's at peace and he's happy with his situation. You know, and then and I'll say a prayer that he's healthy and happy mainly.
I'm not afraid of dying. I am not afraid of dying, and when the good Lord decides to take me, then He will take me. You know, and I will accept that. You know, I become biblical, but I'm still a partier, and that's the thing. You know, I'll take them both in every situation. I am not going to let nobody knock me down until the Lord decides to take me. And until then, I will be doing, you know, whatever I can, and trying to impress the kids, you know, to not go down the road that I went down.
So I haven't really had probably a long time, really a sit down, you know, regret talk. I mean, it's pretty much been, you know.
it is what it is.
Well, you know, I guess, you know, I don't know, maybe I should have tried, you know, I don't know, I haven't really approached him about, you know, we've talked, you know, hey, how's it going, Craig, how you doing, you know, and You know, we talk football. You know, he asked me out. You know, hey, good job, good game. You guys are doing good. And it's kind of superficial stuff, really.
Oh, I've had dreams. I was offered coming out of high school a scholarship to the Naval Academy. If I would have taken that, you know what? I could have got my service programs, and you know, I would be set, and I wouldn't be sitting here under a bush. If you get an offer to get an education, take it. You know, I know you might want to go on and party, whatever you want to do. Get the education. You know, because it's what's available to you, and better than sleeping underneath a bush like this.
Being like a quarterback at Edison, like growing up here, like he must have had a good family or like someone to support him, not like someone who just bailed out on him.
My dad was strong-hearted. He wanted me just to be the athlete that I was, and my mom was just the perfect mom. She did everything she possibly could for me. I mean, she bent over backwards for me, and for anything that I needed. One time, I wanted to get some pot so bad, and I just wanted to go get it, and I asked my mom. I told her what I was going to do with it. I was going to go get some pot, and you know what? My mom gave it to me. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of relationship I had with my mom. When my mom died, it took a lot of life out of me. I loved her so much. Like I said, she did so much for me. Yeah.
So I never recollected he would be, you know, homeless and this shape he's in now.
Not gonna have food if you're like a bum and like don't take responsibility. But at the same time, like, he's still a person.
And right now, I'm pretty much worried about myself because I'm not sure how much more time I got to live.
Yeah.
You know, and it's up to me and the Lord. Mm-hmm. When you got problems down here, you know, it hurts like a mofo. You know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can't really function all that well.
That's crazy how you live here and stuff and you're still going through all that.
Yeah, like I said, man, I'm gonna show you my bag, man.
Oh, you got that. That's gnarly. Oh, yeah.
Look, that's my urine.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It all goes in this bag, and I gotta empty this now.
That's heavy.
So and there's a lot of people out there like that. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, smart people, good people that are doing a lot of the wrong things, and they're either in jail or prison or on the streets or alcoholism or so, you know.
I mean, how things get unfortunate, you know, hard times hit everyone, but.
I don't think that he has like I don't think he has like a lot of like high ambition or like desire to get a job or anything.
I could have done so much more. And if you got any desire and willpower, whatever you have in you. Get your education and move on, you know, because it's not worth it. And hopefully you'll get something out of this that I have to say, because I've been through hills and valleys. I've been up, I've been down, and everything. And it's, when you hit that down, it's not worth it.
Today, you were far away, and I didn't ask you why. Could I say? I was far away, you just walked away, and I just watched you. Could I say? How close am I to losing you? Tonight, close your eyes